are at the deciding point of Cadia. It's mission 4, and the mission is the Emperor Protect, so this is where it all comes to a head. Abaddon and his forces have pushed the Cadians back underneath ground, underneath the Elysian Fields and into the catacombs, so we are technically playing underground, as you can see with the stalactites. Try to make a decent underground theme going. And
Stalagmites.
Stalagmites even. So Abaddon has come to the planet after Akanthos' failure in the last mission. Takes the War Master himself to push the Cadians back, and this is where we'll find ourselves fighting for our lives inside the caves underneath the Elysian Fields. Okay, in this mission it's basically just tear chunks out of each other. It's kill points essentially. It's such a large game. There's just going to be points everywhere, I think. Slay the Warlord is in effect, and it's worth 5 victory points, and so is First Blood. So with the amount of firepower on the board on each side, First Blood is pretty much a given thing. So the Imperial forces have to set up first, so they've stretched out across the line not knowing where the Black Legion would be, and then the Black Legion set up second, and they will have the first turn also. So the Cadian already on the defensive. So in the final mission, the Empiric Storms are raging again, so random things can occur in this battle, and there's a few differences to reserve, so we'll cover that when it comes to it. But there's a Necron with a Tesseract Vault comes into play at some point, and there's a certain golden woman who turns up as well, so we'll cover that as we go along. Okay, so for the grand finale we've got 5,000 points. It's the largest we've done so far of Imperial allies, and it truly is Imperial allies. We've tried to take a little bit from most armies to try and get a feel of the large scale of the battle on Cadia. So we've got the Cadians, of course. We'll start with them since it's their planet. A big portion of points taken up here. We've got, again, a very large platoon, and we've got heavy bolter squad in the platoon. We've got 2 squads with the autocannons in there with the Voxcaster and such, and we're probably going to combine a unit here, do a 20-man unit. They'll be followed into battle with the Preacher heading the way there, so it's going to make them fearless. So a big 20-man unit there, that's good. Another platoon with a Flamer and a Vox in there, and we've got the platoon command squad with 2 grenade launchers and a platoon standard, and then we've got Creed. You have to have Creed, so there he is again, smoking the same cigar. He hasn't put it out yet. There's 2 melter guns. The company banner, you'll see the absence of Kel, because during the interim period between the last battle and this one, Kel was killed by Abaddon, strangled and snapped in half by Abaddon. Poor Kel. And so Creed's had to find a new posse to hang around with, so that's him. And they've got a Chimera, and so has the platoon command. They've got a Chimera as well. Again, camo nets as usual, and dozer blades, and everything that you see, all the pintle mounted stuff. 2 Lehman Russ. We've got the old timer. This is the longest serving Lehman Russ in the Imperial army. This could not miss the final battle, so here it is. It's a venerable old tank, that one. And we've got a Demolisher as well, so with the triple heavy flamer around. And we've got the Mechanicus. So heading this one, we might as well do this now. This is the Triumvirate of the Imperium, so this is a must in this mission. So finally we've got the trio together, and of course we've got Cole heading the Mechanicus element. We've got Celestine, and if you follow in the last battle, you've seen that Genevieve and Eleanor have achieved sainthood, so they are now spent their lives well against the demon Akanthos, and they've been repaid by the Emperor, and they are now eternal with Celestine. And we've got Inquisitor Katrina Greyfax amongst there. So Celestine will be the army's warlord, and she will come through the roof of the cavern on turn 3. That's a surety. And Greyfax will be in Tesseract Reserve, which I'll have to come to in a second. So Cole, big bad Cole, he's leading the Mechanicus, so it's same army as the last time. It's the we've got the, what's his name, Alpha Dominus. He is leading 3 destroyers with exactly what you see with the flamers and the plasma cannons. They've got a different name, but they're essentially plasma cannons with double shot. We've got the Castellan robots, again with the mask of the Alpha Dominus for the Datasmith. And we've got the Start Collecting formation, so we've got another Tech Priest Dominus with a unit of Skitari Rangers, and there's a Arc Rifle and an Arc Maul. They've got pretty much all the upgrades and trimmings that unit. We've got an Omega Dune Crawler, and that's got an extra pintle mounted, it's not pintle mounted, it's just cupola mounted stubber, Cognis stubber. Then we've got 2 knights, so I've decided to name these. These are going to be Romulus and Remus. And we've got the knight with the double guns, so we've got the battle cannon, the Avenger cannon, and then on top it's the Iron Storm missile pod. And then this one will be Gerantius, using the rules for him, so he's going to be super good. He's got Invulnerable 3 save, he's got It Will Not Die, Weapon Skill and Ballistic Skill 5, and he gets to reroll 1s on his Stomp table, so he's pretty mean. I haven't used Gerantius before, so I thought I'll use the rules for them in this epic battle. So that is the mechanic. It's looking scary. And then we've got fractured elements of the chapters who appear in this campaign. So he has returned Corahil, the master of the 4th Company. He's back with another group of veterans. He's recovered barely from his wounds, and he's back in the fight for the one final battle on Cadia. And they're going to have a Razorback. So the veterans have got a plasma gun and 3 storm bolters, and Corahil has got everything that he had in the last battle. So he's got a relic blade, storm shield, signified by the servo skull on his shoulder, and he's got the Lion's Wrath, I think it's called. It's a 1-shot plasma cannon gun, but it's assault, so you can assault from it. And he's got artificer armor. And we've got a squadron of whirlwinds. And then we've got a Space Wolf contingent. We've got the Wolf Guard Terminators, as you see, and then we've got Grey Hunters. They've all got close combat weapons and a plasma gun. They're going to be in a Razorback with a las cannon. And then in Tesseract Reserve, because this is going to stand in for Trazian the Infinite. I wasn't able to get a hold of the model, but he's going to stand in, and he's free in this army composition, and he's got a Tesseract Vault, so he throws that out in the battlefield at some point of his choosing if he's still alive, and then these units get to come in. You don't have to pay for these units, but we've got a unit of veterans, camo cloaks, and grenadiers. So they're going to have carapace armour and +1 to the cover save and defensive grenades, 2 plasma guns, a heavy flamer, and the sergeant's got a bolt pistol and power sword. So the Katrina Greyfax will probably be attached to that unit. And then we've got a unit of Ultramarines Terminators kitted out as you see, chain fist on the Cyclone Terminator, and then we've got a Contemptor Pattern Dreadnought with a Caries Assault Cannon. So quite epic at 5,000 points, and all of these in the Triumvirate will keep their Warlord trait. So Belisarius will re-roll his Feel No Pains, or Failed Feel No Pains. Katrina Greyfax has an Infiltrator Denial area around her, which probably won't come into effect in this game, since she has to come in from Tesseract Reserve with the rest of them. And of course Celestine comes in through the roof on turn 3, and the rocks fall down with that and cause some damage, so when that happens we'll go through it then.
Right, here we have 5,000 points of Chaos Forces, commanded by a so over here we've got the Lost and the Damned. We've got 4 units of Cultists, 2 of 20, 2 of 25. 25s have the auto guns, the 20s have close combat weapons, led by an Apostle. If they're within 6 inches of him, they get Zealot. If they are destroyed entirely, the unit can return via ongoing reserves on a 4+, and they can also again outflank. Moving up, we've got the Fist of the Gods. We've got a Warp Smith with 3 Land Raiders. The Land Raiders get a 6+ invulnerable save granted from him, and he can also +1 to his repair. Favoured of Chaos. These are not part of the SPEARTIP, but it's still part of the Black Legion. And there's a Demon Prince, 3 units of Possessed. Okay, so behind Abaddon squad we have 2 squads, and they're from the Chosen of Abaddon formation, and they have Fearless with their leader. The leader's a sorcerer, and the first squad there, the leader has the Burning Brand of Skalthrax, and he's got Shred as his free boon on the table roll. The guy's got a free boon roll as well, and he rolled +1 toughness, and he has the last memory of Ukranthos, which is a Sunburst Nova. All the Terminators have the Mark of Tzeentch.
That's including the Bringers of Despair.
Including the Bringers of.
So both sorcerers are mastery level 3.
That's right, yeah. So next up we've got a core choice. It's the Hounds of Abaddon. We've got 2 units of Chaos Space Marines. They're riding in Rhinos. The champion has a power weapon, Melted Bomb. And you can see the Chaos Lord in front there. He's got the Spine Shiver Blade. It's a demon weapon. And then over here we've got some Berserkers. And they're riding in the Rhino. And the last choice was some Raptors in that Hounds of Abaddon formation, yeah. Mr. Tickle's there with his Lightning Claw and a Flamer. And over here we have the Spawn of Chaos.
Have these got any marks? Or they're just plain Spawn?
They've got the Mark of Khorne.
Okay. Speaking of the Mark of Khorne, all of the units in the Hounds of Abaddon, they get a free Mark of Khorne, so you don't have to pay for that. And they get a run and charge in 1 turn, so that's pretty good. So in the Black Legion SPEARTIP Strike Force, which most things are a part of, it's just this this formation that isn't. You can roll for Deep Strike Reserve from the first turn, and since Abaddon is with his Despair, his Bringers of Despair, this unit can choose whether to come in on the first turn, so it's going to be a very nasty first turn if they get all the rolls going. And all units in the Black Legion are going to have Crusader and Fear, so the Imperial Guard might have the knees knocking here. It is a scary attack. So not only does Abaddon get the benefits of deep striking on the first turn, he's got his Warlord's only preferred enemy Space Marines within 12, but in this mission he's going to give anyone within 12 of him it's preferred enemy against armies of the Imperium, so he's got a better version of the Warlord trait he normally comes with. And in this mission all units have hatred armies of the Imperium, which they've just about got anyway because they are Black Legion, but that even extends to the cultists now, so even the cultists are really up for killing some Imperials. So for deployment for the Imperial forces, we've tried to protect with meat shields as much as we can, because there's first turn deep striking coming in from the Black Legion, so we've got, not knowing where the Black Legion was going to be, we've had to spread out a little bit more than what we want to be. So we've got Creed is in this Chimera, and he's been protected by a big fearless 20-man squad. We've got the Demolisher there, we've got the robots, big robot here, and in the centre this is where they've tried to set up a kill zone. Tried to make a little bit of a kill zone there. If the Terminators want a deep strike in there, they're going to have to take the chances with a lot of plasma cannons and whatnot. We've got Belisarius attached to the destroyers, so he should be able to absorb some nasty shots, and we won't lose our important plasma cannons. Whirlwinds at the back. Standing Gerantius, this will be Romulus, I think. He's been protected by a meat shield, pushing back those Terminators with the melter guns so they don't deep strike within that range, that melter range, so it's a little bit further out than we would like to be. On this side, a little bit weak for my taste, but can't put everything everywhere. Platoon Chimera, the rest of the platoon, we've got the heavy bolters and a squad up there, and the old-timer Lehman Rust, and the rest of the Mechanicus as well. We've got 2 Razorbacks in reserve with the Dart Angels and Space Wolves in, and we've got Trazian the Infinite in reserve, so you can use his Tesseract Vault. The Chaos have set up a line of steel, so nothing's getting through that. It's just las cannons, rhinos, more las cannons on another Land Raider, a rhino, and so on. And then we've got the 2 Forge Fiends with a good firing position from this nice little nest here they've got going. And then all the cultists in the back and the spawn. So in each Land Raider are the possessed, and in the centre one we've also got the Warpsmith, that's what he's called. And in reserve is all of Abaddon's Terminators and the Raptors. Right, first move of the game could be catastrophic. The Terminators try to deep strike in here. They've scattered a massive 7 inches and ended up within an inch of the Guardsmen. Tried to shuffle the best they could, try and get that, but it's just not happening. They've landed too close. So on the mishap table is a 6. They're going to be back into reserve. So there's a bead of sweat running down Abaddon's face there. Right, another bizarre moment. The Emperor is protecting us in a certain way. Abaddon tried to start deep strike in no man's land here, just because it was a safe deep strike. Ends up scattering massively backwards towards the own Land Raider, can't place them, and then they go back into the warp. Luckily they didn't get misplaced or just disappear altogether, because that would have been absolutely catastrophic. So the Emperor is protecting us with the jamming signals of the Terminators coming in. Okay, we're into the moving phase on turn 1 for the Black Legion. We've rolled for the Empiric Storms, and it was a 22, and it means that psychic powers are halved, so the ranges are halved, so they're not going to be so potent, I don't think. With the only psychic that's on the board, he landed a little bit further away than he would have liked, so we'll have to see what is up his silky sleeve. So they've moved out. It's a big dispersion from all the Chaos forces. Most of the rhinos have went flat out, approaching the lines, and the cultists are just flooding out of the cracks. One Land Raider has moved forward. He's going to get one shot of his last cannon at the Onager, I'm told, and the last cannon's trained at the large knights, we think. So there's a psychic phase to do, and then shooting. We've included the run moves in this turn as well, so that's how they've dispersed so much. So shooting, and it's going to be a ferocious first turn for both sides. It's such a high point. Right, Chaos turn 1, shooting. There was a psychic phase, but it was very unfortunate, because psychic ranges are halved with the Empiric Storms. Just absolutely nothing. He's got really good psychic powers, but just could not get them on the targets because the psychic powers halved. So what he couldn't do in the psychic phase, he's going to try and do in the shooting phase. So we've got 3 combi plasmas, and they're going to try to be lacing into this Onager Dune Crawler. So here we go. Right, two gets hot on different people, because we've used colour-coded dice. 2 armour saves. Oh no, one dies. And only 2 shots get through. Is such a terrible assault from the Black Legion so far. Right, but there's 1 penetration. The laughing stops as a 6 comes through. And it's only a 1 on the table, but this does have a 6+ invulnerable save. And it doesn't get it, so it's going to be snap firing, which is absolutely crucial for that squad, considering it's got a strength 10 AP 1 blast. Okay, the Land Raider in the centre fires 2 las cannons towards the Onager. 1 penetration, and if we do not save this on a 6, it's going to be immobilised. Nope, it will be immobilised. It's got 1 hull point left. There's another las cannon trained on it. Is that what's going to be firing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now that twin-link las cannon has a go, and hits and penetrates, and gets a 3, goes to 4, but because it's on 2 hull points, if we don't get this, it's going to explode. Well, not explode, but it's going to be wrecked. Oh, it's wrecked. So that is first blood, and it's the first kill point. So 2 points already for Chaos with some expert las cannon shots. The 3rd Land Raider fires all the way over here through the knight's legs. You wouldn't have expected it. At the Whirlwind, and we've done all the damage, we just haven't done the save yet. If we don't save this, it's going to be on Snapfire. It was a penetrating hit, So saving on 5 with the cover, and the Emperor protects, just like the mission states. Okay, so the Chaos continue their shooting phase. There's mostly the rest of the shots come over here since everyone ran and went flat out. So the Rhino fired at the Guardsman's squad, and so did the left hand side Mauler Fiend. The Rhino didn't do any damage, but one of the Mauler Fiends insta-killed the Heavy Bolter, but our saves were phenomenal there. We got on the ground with the Heavy Bolters, lost one, passed our pain test, passed the morale, so they hold. I think the Heavy Bolters are my favourite unit in the Imperial Guard. They've done some phenomenal work last mission, they saved like kings there. And then the next Mauler Fiend, Forge Fiend even, I keep on calling them Mauler Fiends, Forge Fiend fires all the way down here. We thought we was going to target the Imperial Knight, but actually Sukatari were the victims, but again rolled some really good saves for having some of the units in front partially covered, only lost 2 and passed the pin and test. So a really bad round from the Chaos in the first turn. Did get 2 victory points for first blood in destroying that Onaga Dunecrawler. So they've really done what they need to do, and that's push forward. It's not going to be so easy from here on out for the Imperium. Right, Imperium on the move, not scared of all this Chaos tat that's coming towards us. They're not, don't have the regiment to pull this one off. We can feel it in our bones. So forward go the Guard. We will not be intimidated, yeah. We'll be lost for words, but not intimidated. So forward they go, and followed by the Rangers and the Knights staying put just about. Belisarius, he's done the Benediction of Omniscience, so these are going to be able to reroll 1s, just stops us from getting hot. And we've done his special canticles, where all units within 12, all vehicles within 12, are going to have +2 to their ballistic skill, so that's going to cover both Knights, the Whirlwinds, even though they'll be firing indirectly probably, and this Chimera. So Belisarius lending his arcane knowledge to the fight. So this over here, the right hand side, is pulling round to the left to just try and get into the battle. We've still got to watch our P's and Q's for those Terminators ready to come in from deep strike. Right, the Demolisher fires the first shot at the Terminator's direct centre. We do get a direct hit, and for the 5 wounds, all we get is 4 1s and a 4. So just 1 wound on the Terminators, and they've got the Martyr's Inch, so they'll be saving on 4s. And it's not to be, because you used a red dice, didn't. Got to use blue ones for Zinch. So lost the Terminator. Okay, the Omnissiah prescribes Holy Flame from the robot, so the order comes through, and we'll get the 2 combustion flames, I think they're called, or Incendine Combustion. Torrent Flamers on the Terminators 2 times, 7 wounds they're going to need to save on the Terminator armour. Ooh, just 1 goes down. Right, Creed tries to issue an order to the Guardsmen. They fail it twice, even with a reroll for first rank fire, and we'll kill 1 Terminator, and then Belisarius with these Solar Atomizer kills a few more, and we even get 1 with the Eradication Beam, and then we did the rest of the shots from the Plasma Cannons, and he's got a hell of a lot to save. These are
4 saves.
4 saves on 4s. Oh no, he's dead. Fails 3 of them. It's been really bad for Chaos this turn. Okay, so the Imperium putting up such a good performance in this firefight. The Knight on the left has chose its targets, has wrecked this Rhino down to 1 hull point left. Some Stubbers have taken away a few cultists, but now it's time to drop the battle cannon in on our chosen target. We've selected these cultists as well, and we're going to put it right amongst there, so we can try and get some Land Raiders. And because of Belisarius's special trick that he pulled, his chant, we are going to be ballistic skill 6, so we're going to -6 from any scatter. Right, so that's going to end up as a direct hit, and the second battle cannon blast is a direct hit, so everyone under that template twice. Right, so the battle cannon puts a hull point on this Land Raider and annihilates all of the cultists down this channel, 16 wounds, which ends up as the full squad. But that's a victory point, but they could return on a 4+ and even from outflank, so it's not over for the cultists yet. Right, then the Iron Storm missile pod fires from the furthest night, and then we do the 2 whirlwinds as well into all the cultists, and it's a complete massacre. The whirlwind gets direct hits in the centre, kills 11, and then the Iron Storm missile did miss and only got 2, but that's major casualties in the cultists. A massive hole where they used to be. Everyone in this area, all the Imperial Guard, have fired autocannons, grenade launchers, heavy bolters, more autocannons at these 2 rhinos. We weren't able to get this one, but we did get the black one with this Chimera, and it was boosted by the ballistic skill thanks to Belisarius's special canticles. Didn't get it with the Scutari either, but we did strip it eventually, and the Black Legion have to get out, and they're facing down this thermal cannon on Gerontius Romulus and this battle cannon here, so it is looking ugly for them. So we're going to try and drop the battle cannon in there, see what happens. Right, so we decided what to do with the battle cannon and the knight. So the battle cannon shot first at the Black Legion who had to disembark from this rhino. It scattered wildly, hit this rhino, destroyed it. The berserkers have to get out there past their snapping test, and Gerontius Romulus sends in a thermal cannon shot. It's so accurate. He's normally ballistic skill 5, Gerontius. He's got +2 because of Belisarius. Drops that right in on target, kills 4 Black Legionnaires straight away. So that is it for shooting for the Imperium. It's been so deadly. And now it's a couple of morale checks, but that's 5 points in the bag in just 1 turn. But Chaos are on the doorstep now. This is where they'll start racking up points as soon as the game matures a little bit. Right, so the Black Legion passed their morale test, so do the cultists. And if you're wondering what the Empiric Storm was for my turn, it was nothing of note that could affect anything in the army. So it's time for the Chaos to go into their turn 2. Chaos turn 2, and reserves, or some reserves, arrived. Try to drop in a Terminator squad, fell off the table, and go back into ongoing reserves. But a Baden does arrive, and he's already ran 3 inches, dispersed because there is big blast nastiness in the area, so he's dispersed, looking mean. Raptors come down in close proximity, they run 6 and disperse, and then crucially a big unit of cultists comes on from outflank, did get them back, so there's now an attack on the right hand side for the Imperial forces. Right, and on the big left hand side push for the Imperial side, the Chaos still advance, so the Land Raiders just still operating their las cannons, don't want to move forward yet. They're looking for a second wave at some point with the Demon Prince in tow, but the cultists are making their way forward. So the blue cultists have already ran, and then there's a big setup here for lots of shooting. They're not going to be able to charge because they were forced out of their transport, but the spawn will be able to, and this unit of Black Legion, dedicated Crimson Slaughter, they're going to be firing a flamer through, so lots of casualties on the Imperial Guard this turn, I expect. And Chaos are pushing forward with some high power shots, so they're going to pick their targets when the time comes. And the Empiric Storm for this turn was a Psyker would lose a power from his hand, but because the sorcerer did not turn up from Deep Strike, he went back into ongoing reserve. He did not suffer that, so it actually worked out for the best, I suppose. So on to Chaos Shooting in turn 2. Lots and lots of death on the horizon here. Right, Chaos open up their shooting phase with small arms fire, so it's the cultists who are doing the damage here. They open up with the pistols and a flamer, able to kill 7 guardsmen. 7 well-trained guardsmen perished to the scum of the earth. So they...
Charming.
Well, they're not charming, are they? They're ugly
They're
cretins,
deplorables.
those ones. So, yep, finest, 7 of the finest go down through pistols. And over here, more good men die to bolt of fire from the Black Legion. And cultist fire, phenomenal cultist fire through the gap here, reduces these down to 2. They're going to have to take a morale check. And the Berserkers, not doing too well, they don't know how to fire a pistol really, and they only kill 2 guardsmen. But over here, the Crimson Slaughter, dedicated to the Black Legion, they know how to kill a squad or 2. They burn and shoot the squad that were housing in this this complex here, all killed. So that is a victory point for Chaos doing that. And the Heavy Bolter take a wound from a stray flame.
Licked by the flame.
Lick of the flame, sees a wound on one, but they're still standing, those Heavy Bolters. And the 2 Forge Fiends at the back, they fire through at this Chimera and cause it to be wrecked. So it took them both, because they were getting decent cover saves. The camo net makes all the difference. It was just slightly obscured, getting 5 saves, but boosted to 4 with the camo. But again, two Mauler Fiends, one of them's hitting on 2s is just an impossible situation to overcome. So the Chimera goes up in smoke, and that is another point for Chaos, and the platoon squad gets out, so they pass all their pinning tests and whatnot. These 2 Land Raiders, they've got an eye for the Castellan robots. They want to pick these off, because these are very dangerous, these robots, so a lot of las cannon shots coming through on them now. Okay, so the Land Raider on the right fires 2 las cannons, both hit, only 1 wound, so what we're looking out for is if I can roll a 6 here for the Castellan robot, that shot will bounce off the repulsor grid and just might hit the Land Raider with its own shot.
Unknown to me.
So,
What a surprise.
the Emperor protects, and does he deliver instant vengeance? Oh, no. But saves on a 5, but it doesn't bounce back. Okay, the left-hand side Land Raider has a go. Again, the same thing. 2 hits, 1 wound. Can we get that 6 that the Emperor desires? No, so he's gone through the repulsor grid, but he's got to feel no pain. And there's a 6, but it's not going to bounce back. That was just a feel no pain. But we're going to do the double Heavy Bolters now, straight at the robots. Right, the Heavy Bolters fire from the both of the Land Raiders. Don't achieve any wounds on the robots. They're just too tough, those ones. And then the third one thinks he can get a shot through the Knight's legs at this Whirlwind, and he saves on a 5 because of intervening model. So the Emperor truly does protect in this game, and it is the name of the mission, so I suppose he has to if he wants to be a man of his word. So that is the end of the shooting phase. There's just a few morale checks to do. There's this unit here, and they're fine on a 7, so they're going to stand. Pretty good. And I think that's it. That is it, because this unit's fearless. So it's on the charges. We've got the spawn going in on somebody, and we've got this unit of cultists might reach around the corner. So the cultists make it in, and there's going to be a fight here, and over here the spawn make it in on a 7-inch charge onto the Heavy Bolters. So it's quite a long charge. They might have even made it onto the Leaving Rust if they declared it, but they picked the Heavy Bolters and they've got there, so they're going to be fighting for their lives. These heavy weapons teams have never seen such filth. Okay, so the combats are resolved. The spawn clearly makes short work of the Heavy Bolter team. They never had a chance. They've been torn into pieces and slung around with tentacles. And over here, the Mortarcorn cultists make their way in. Nasty damage. There's only a few of them, but they've done the job. Killed 1 cultist, but nearly wipe out the Guardsman squad in return. But we do hold on our morale, so they're clearly up for this fight. The Sergeant is pointing saying, we're not having this today. the Emperor Protect is truly the right name for this mission, especially with these circumstances. So, in a bizarre twist of fate and an ironic situation has cropped up, what we've got is we rolled a 65 on the Empiric Storm table, and it's Demon Tide, and I won the roll off. So in the Imperial's control is a unit of 10 Bloodletters. They're set up within 9 inches of an enemy unit and can even charge on the turn that they come. So, and you get the upgrades that you would like. So we've chosen to have a Banner of Blood. We've arrived within 9 inches of this Raptor unit, and what a Banner of Blood does, it allows you to charge automatically 6 inches, so you just have to roll 1 dice. So a 3-inch charge is all that is needed for a Bloodthirst to charge out of nowhere under this unit of the Hounds of Abaddon. So obviously Abaddon's upset Khorne somewhere down the line, and these undesirable Raptors have fell out of favour with Khorne, and they've been brought, or will be brought, to heel. Imperial reserves have also heard the call and have made their way to the battlefield. So he's not Imperial, but Trazian the Infinite has found his way to the battle, and he's right in the corner. So 6 inches away from any friendly unit, because he is counted as a desperate ally, so he's not going to affect anyone. But he's there, he's ready to throw his Tesseract Vault onto the table. The Space Wolves have turned up in the Razorback. They've hopped out, and they're going to put on some fine work with that plasma gun. We can feel it. Abaddon just is being counter-attacked here. You could hardly believe it. We've got Creed is ready to fight for his portion of the world, and he's got 2 melter guns out the top hatch. Gonna toast some Terminators. They're gonna have to put on some massive saving performances here to come out of this one alive. For the Imperial Knights, Gerantius has moved on. He's going to look to put his thermal cannon. It is in range for double dice on 2 Land Raiders. That was too good of an opportunity to miss, so he's on his way to make his presence felt. And this one has turned its sights on Abaddon. So that Avenger cannon is the one that could do the damage. It does rend. And more reserves turn up. We've got Dark Angels with everyone's favourite Korra Hale. He's back, healed his wounds, and he's looking for the old enemy. He's found the Crimson Slaughter, so he's going to drop that the Plasma Blast in there. There's another Plasma Gunner in there. And the Skitarii, they've moved across to the left. We're going to try and do some damage onto the spawn. So we've called some Canticles and Doctriners. We've done the Gamma Protectors, so they're going to have a +1 to the ballistic skill. And we've also done the Incantation of the Iron Soul, so that's going to give all units Stubborn who have Canticles of the Omnissiah. And lastly, the reserves turn up. It's the Wolf Guard Terminators, the Deep Strike into no man's land, looking to take out the backfield heavy weapons. So they're going to have to go through some horrible firepower to get there, but that's how legends are made, and they're going to cover that ground and eventually get into the field there. So all of a sudden, Chaos have been counter-attacked. The Deep Striking hasn't worked that well. Abaddon's forces have been coming in piecemeal. There must be something about being in this cave jamming the teleport signals, but the reserves for the Imperium are arriving just fine. Okay, we'll open up fire with Creed out of the hatch. 2 melter guns. Fail to hit with one and don't wound with the other, so got off scot-free from the melter guns. The Space Wolves, not so lucky. There's 2 wounds with a plasma gun, so they need to save on 4s. Oh, 2 Terminators drop straight away, and then just 2 bolter shots, but are saved. So the plasma gun takes 2 victims. Okay, the las cannon now fires from the Razorback. It's going to try and claim another victim on a 4. Oh, another Terminator is dead. We're on fire here, the Imperium. Chimera chips in now with the multi-laser Storm Bolter and Heavy Bolter. Got 4 wounds they're going to have to save. And there's a full house, and no Terminators dropping this time. Alright, Creed issues the order for these first rank fire. 6 wounds dealt out on the Terminators they're going to have to save. And again, above average. They did lose a lot of Terminators early, but they're starting to hold now. Right, the Torrent Flames on the robots were up next. We missed with the Gamma Pistol on a 1, but the Flamers claimed 3 wounds, so again, more Terminator armor saves. And they hold again, so Abaddon is saving his best to the last here. Alright, we're going to have to do the big lad. All guns except the Iron Storm pod, will be firing at Abaddon, even the battle cannon, even though he's in close range of the guardsmen. I don't know why I've done that, but I have. But life is cheap in the Imperium. So we've got the Avenger Gatler at Abaddon squad. So hitting on 3s, we're going to do the full thing, right? Okay, so wound on 2s, rending on 6s, which is the most important. Right, there's 1 rend, and we've got 6 wounds. So let's do the rend first on a 4. The Zinchian 4. He saves. Now 6 normal armor saves. Oh my word, there they are. There's the ones that we all thought were coming. Lot of 1s. 4 1s. So there's 3 spare wounds to go around. Will these go on Abaddon or his friend? So it's going to need 3 lookouts first to try and do. So on 2s. So he makes the first one, second one. Oh well, it doesn't really matter because it means that that Terminator is going to die and the next 2 wounds are going on Abaddon. It doesn't mean that Abaddon's going to take all 3. So the Terminator is gone, Abaddon's alone, and he's only got 2 wounds left now. The Knight is opened up with his stubbers and the battle cannon. We're missed with 1 battle cannon shot, but we've got 1 with the stubber, so we've got 2 wounds, and Abaddon's going to have to save on his armor save again. This is crucial, and he does. He makes it through. More death and destruction on this side. The Demolisher fires triple heavy flamers at the 20-man cultist squad. Kills them all. Just got 20 wounds with the triple flamer. And not a survivor, just smouldering bodies right before Trazian. He appreciates it. Alright, Cora Hill will have his revenge here. He's going to fire his Lion's Wrath plasma cannon thing. It's a relic. It's good. He's going to put it here, so we'll get 6 on a Rhino if we can land. He's got to see if he gets hot first. Nope, doesn't get hot. And going to see if we can land it right where we see it. And he does. He's got a keen eye, this one. Cora Hill certainly does have his revenge. They have to go to ground, and only 2 survivors after a plasma gun, rapid firing, and storm bolters. 2 left. They're going to have to take morale check, and they've gone to ground. And they even got a glance on the Rhino. In fact, we're stunned it, so it's on snapfire. So it's really turned into an eradication this round from the Imperium. And it doesn't end there. We've got this battle cannon. It's going to be firing through. And it's going to possibly take a chunk out of all these berserkers. Or might just even eradicate them altogether. Oh, nope. That's going to go 8 inches minus 3. So 5 inches somewhere. Right, the venerable old tank must be getting old. He sends his shot too far wide. Doesn't get a soul. But with the snap-firing las cannon and snap-firing heavy bolters, we kill 1 berserker out of that one, so they came away very light. So they've been blessed with that shot, but damned everywhere else on the battlefield. Durantius is now going to fire, so we've dedicated the stubber to these cultists, and obviously the thermal cannon to these 2 land raiders. So bad news for Chaos here. So we're going to put it on this headlamp here and try and clip 2 vehicles. We'll just say clip if we land. Here we go. That's going to go 6 inches at least, and that's a 3 under there. So it's going to go 9 inches minus 5 because he's got an improved ballistic skill, Durantius. Right, Durantius scatters over just onto this land raider, so we do only get 1, and it's strength 9. We are within 18, so it's double dice for Melter. So strength 9, that is most definitely a pen. And there's no save out in the open here. It's tragic news for Chaos. 6, oh my lord, it's just an eradication. Actually, there is. Yeah, there's a 6 invulnerable save because it's Fist of the Gods. Will he save his bacon? It's not to be. It's a blown up result, and there's 5 possessed inside. So there we have it. Explodes result, and 1 possessed is killed in the blast. And then the tragically, it is the cultists who make the save with hard cover, so I'm sure the Chaos wish it was the other way around. So that is the end of the shooting phase. It's not actually, I forgot to fire the whirlwinds, it's only more savagery to come. 2 whirlwinds, we're going to drop them in amongst this blue unit here. Right, more gruesome stuff. 16 cultists dead in that, massive bodies. Basically got a direct hit, flipped over just right as well. It's just all going the Imperium's way. We might not even need Celestine to turn up at this rate. And the Terminators ran a bit. So the Emperor certainly does protect, and it's getting a little bit nasty now. It's just, I feel a little bit bad for what's just happened. So on to assaults. Right, first things first, for the Bloodletters, they're going to do their charge. So with a Banner of Blood, we're automatically going to get 6 inches. We just need to roll a 3. We'll have to make it through some Overwatch. So we'll do the Overwatch first, but I'll just roll the charger and see what it is. Oh, we're not going to make the charge, we're going to suffer Overwatch anyway. A little bit of mercy on the Chaos side. 2 Berserkers, Bloodletters are killed in the Overwatch, so that could have been terminal on this side for Abaddon being isolated, but he might be able to join himself to that unit out of desperation next turn. Right, these guardsmen are going to join into this combat, try and help the brethren out. Their comrades, so 6-inch charge should be easily in. Right, Skitari Rangers are going to try and charge in on the last remaining spawn, so it's a 9-inch charge, and we've got move through cover, so we'll want to come to that penalty, so we're needing a 9. We get it. It's just all going our way this turn. The Rangers make short work of the last spawn and consolidate a little bit, so they're on the way. It's just gone so well. And then this actually win the combat here by 1. Just kill 1 cultist and they don't do any damage back. But the cultists do pass and they will fight on. It's Black Legion turn 3 now. Things are looking pretty desperate in certain points of the battlefield. It's going to be a crucial turn for them. So from ongoing reserve, from being misplaced the last time, the Terminators are going to come in, and it's worth noting that on the Empiric Storm table we've rolled it is Empiric Shield, which means it's a +1 to invulnerable save, so these Terminators are going to have an invulnerable 3, and anyone who hasn't already got an invulnerable save is a 6. So you +1 to invulnerable save essentially, so these Terminators have arrived with a perfect situation. So let's see if they can deep strike where they want to be.
Desperation roll.
Right, finally they get a direct hit, so that's where they're going to materialise. Alright, so the Terminators are leading the way on this side, so the charges are going to be up and running. The Berserkers haven't made their way through that stray battle cannon shot. They're not going to need a second invitation here, so they go straight in, and they're going to be assaulting the Skitari. There's a Chaos Lord in there with a Spine Shard blade, he's not to be trifled with. And there's the Burning Brand in there, so the Burning Brand's going to try and burn down Corra Hill and the surviving Dark Angels. This is going to be a nasty turn. It's strong on this side. And Abaddon is going on his way. I've been told he's going to be trying to tangle with these robots, so he's going to try and charge in. He could beat them. It's possible. He's got the Talon Horus, it's a good weapon. And these Raptors getting far away from the Bloodletters that have come in to stab them in the back. And they're going to open up with a flamer all the way down the line on the Cadians. It's such a tragic circumstance there. They're all going to get flamed to death. And some shuffling in the back lines for the Chaos. All the possessed are out and about now, so they've got the unit that was forced out of the destroyed Land Raider. They've got this unit here, and then this unit joined by the Warpsmith now. We're going to be looking to tackle these Wolf Guard approaching from the flank, and the Forge Fiends They're going to try and get a line of sight on the whirlwinds. They've had quite enough of the output from the whirlwinds. And the cultists, again, they surge forward. And the unit of cultists that were wiped out by the heavy flamer on the demolisher on that side failed to come back. Didn't get that 4+. So they will not be returning for the rest of the game. So there's some shots to be done, and it's mostly in this area here. So the Chaos Forces, they started the shooting phase on this side of the battlefield. So las cannons from the Land Raiders shot down at the Castellan robots. No damage, being behind hard cover and just feel no pains just is a glorious thing. And one shot at the Chimera, but camo netting again with loads of cover just is absorbed. Baden shoots his target, no damage, too tough. But it's a different story here. The Flamer comes down, licks all the guardsmen, but they do have invulnerable 6 saves because of this Empiric Storm result this turn. And they do get a few saves, but they've been severely cut down in number, and they'll be probably finished off by the Raptors. So there's probably a point in it there for the Black Legion so far. And over here, the Deep Striking Sorcerer squad, he did have his Psychic phase, but it was not to be. He tried a AP2 template, but failed to manifest it, and then he's given himself Force, because he thinks that's the best way to kill Belisarius if he was to attack. So now, it's the shooting phase for them, and it's going to be the Burnham brand of Scalthrax, and it's going to go on the Dark Angels veterans. These have just seen such hard times through this campaign, and now they're going to see probably one of the worst weapons they can imagine. AP3 Flamer coming in. So minimum damage from the Burnham brand. It got 6 hits but only 3 wounds, and the Plasma gun even rolled a 6 for an invulnerable save, and then Corahil saves on his Artificer armour and takes the rest. Right, next up was the Heavy Flamer. Comes in, touches 3 of the Dark Angels, but Corahil saves on his Artificer armour. And then, blessed by the Lion himself, 2 combi melter shots come in and miss. So Corahil didn't even have a chance to even take those on his Storm Shield. But even then, he would have gotten an invulnerable 2 save. But still, it was risky business, because those could insta-kill him, but they've missed. So the really bad luck continues for the men in black. Right, so that's the end of the shooting phase for Chaos, and just a few snapfire and bolter shots from this side. Don't do any damage. Cultists, naturally, they don't do any damage, but there is some damage done from the Forge Fiends. One of them blows up this Razorback, so there's a point for the Chaos Forces, and then blows up this Whirlwind. Won't get a point though, because it's part of a squadron, so they will go on and knock off up a point yet. There's 1 point already. There's definitely a nasty attack on this side, so that's a dangerous looking situation. And then over here is surely a point with these guardsmen at the mercy of these Raptors. Right, so the Berserkers have gone in with the Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord issues a challenge, and the Tech Priest Dominus, he fancies his chances. So the Chaos Lord does have a Demon Blade, and it's basically a power sword with a +1 initiative, and it's demon weapon, so he's going to come in with a lot of attacks. And of course the Berserkers are a handful as well, so this does not look good. Okay, so everyone in the Black Legion has fear, so we're going to do a fear test first and foremost. And we pass because we're leadership 10. Right, so it's the Demon Blade. We're going to see how many attacks he's going to have up his sleeve. 5 extra attacks. Right, so the Lord has got an astronomical amount of attacks. He's got 11 attacks, and he's hitting on 3s. He's even going to get re-rolls on this, so all but 3. So he's scored 10 hits with the re-rolls, and he's running on 4s now. Ooh, that ain't good. That's well below average. It's only 3 wounds on the Tech Marine Priest. So he's going to save on 2s on his special armour, and he saves them all. Wow. Not a good day at the office for this Chaos Lord. Right, the Berserkers fight, and it's a massacre to wipe out the Skitarii, as there's another point for the Black Legion, but the Tech Priest holds. So he's going to attack back now. He's got 3 attacks, and he's hitting on 4s against that Lord. He's hit with 1, not too bad, and he's strength 5 with the power axe. No wound, doesn't hurt him back, so it's definitely lost the combat there, but we did have the presence of mind last turn to play the Canticles of the Omnissiah, and it was Incantation of the Iron Soul for just this moment. So he has Stubborn. So he is going to take a leadership test on a 10. And he passes because he's got an Info Slave Skull. So he passes with that Stubborn rule. Foresight paid off there, but was still lost the Skitarian a point. This combat, again, the Guardsmen succumb to fear and they're not able to strike very well. Don't get any wounds, but the Chaos inflict 2 wounds and they're both saved. So those Guardsmen in an eternal fight with these cultists, nobody can quite get the edge there. Different circumstance over here. The Raptors have got in with no damage in the Overwatch. Did have 2 flamers in there, but not to be. So they did use the jump packs to get in. So Hammer Wraths and the Priest did do reroll filled armor saves roll for his prayer. So they might do well with the Emperor's Blessings. Then of course the Baden is in here as well on the 6-inch charge. Just makes it in, and he's going to be fighting in a challenge with this the Datasmith. So he's way below his station there. Baden should just cleave him in twain. So the Raptors go in, make short work. The Preacher did a heroic last stand there. He's getting rerolls on his invulnerable save and took quite a lot, but just finally succumbed. Sweep and advance saw the rest of the Guardsmen off. And they would have had to do that to impress Baden. He is on form here. So which weapon is he going to use? Is he going to use Drakian or?
He's going to use Talon of Horus.
Talon of Horus, okay. It's probably a better thing to do, yeah, because he's toughness 4, so he does have feel no pain, but he would be insta killed, so that's interesting. Right, Baden, he's got Rampage in this mission as well, so we've done the D3 roll. He's got an extra 2 attacks. He's coming in with 9 attacks with the Talon of Horus, and he's hitting on 3s. So let's see what happens. And we've got 3 misses in there, but of course he's got Hybrid.
Yeah, a couple more than that.
Okay, rerolls on those misses. Love rolling them under that tank.
It is a 6.
Wound on 2s with the Talon of Horus, and it's got Shred, so you'd be able to reroll. So 2s. So they all wound. Alright, well, we've got our Artificer armour. We're going to have to try and save these on. No feel, no pains, because it's instant death. It's strength 8 with the ban. So one at a time. It's crucial when this stuff happens. He survives. Survives. He's alive. He's alive still. He's still alive. 2 more. He's alive. Oh, he survives a rampaging attack from Abaddon. Okay, after Abaddon's failure to kill the Datasmith, we're going to try and attack back. But they're all weapon skill 3 and Abaddon's weapon skill 7, so we're going to have to be hitting them on 5. So this might be the way Abaddon survives this. We forgot to do a data spike at initiative step 10, so here it is, needing a 5 on Abaddon. No, so lucky data spike didn't do anything. So we've got the Datasmith and his Power Fist. He's got 2 attacks, hitting on 5s. No. Right, the robots, they've got 3 attacks each with their extra weapon, needing 5s again. Just 1 hit. Abaddon is Eternal Warrior, so it's not going to be enough to kill him dead. Well, might cause a wound if we're lucky. There's a wound, and Abaddon, he normally saves on a 4, but with this Empiric Storm in play, he's going to be saving on an invulnerable 3. So can he do it?
Okay, you black-hearted villain, do your stuff.
And he does with a black 5. He survives. That's pretty good from Abaddon. Didn't kill his man, but he survived some nasty blows coming in. Right, so Chaos pick up 4 points in that turn, so it's a really good turn for them. And at the end of their turn, what I've done is I've just rolled on the Empiric Storm for the next turn. Rolled a 66, which is Empiric Breach. So it's sort of like the Bloodletters, but it's actually going to be a Greater Demon. And this is so crucial because it's a roll-off for who controls them. So the Imperial roll in green. Come on, that's a 6. Oh, it's a strong 5. I'm happy with the 5.
Difficult to beat. Can we do it? Come on, come on.
Yes!
The final nail in the coffin.
The final nail in the coffin. So, much like the Bloodletters, we're going to get a Bloodthirster of my choosing set up with 9 inches away from the Chaos. I don't know what Chaos have done to upset Khorne, but they must have. I mean, how can you explain demons turning against their masters? Right, we're turn 3 for the Imperials now, and it's just so bizarre. It's Celestine arrives for the rule divine intervention, but I think we're doing just fine without her, but she's still here and we're still happy to have her. So here she is on the wings of truth. So as she lands, deep strike, you only scattered a little bit, so there she is. And we're probably going to run her, and then the Imperial aligned bloodletters are behind her. It just feels all sorts of wrong having demons on your side. Well, that's weird, but we have them. We're not going to turn them away, I tell you that. And Space Wolves coming around to fight Abaddon. We will not go quietly into the night with these robots. What we're going to do is we're going to boost up our weapon skill with the Canticles of the Omnissiah. So we're going to bump it up to try and take on Abaddon in this next round. The Knight's going to try and take on the Raptors with some shots. And a Contemptor Dreadnought from Tesseract Reserve. Only scatters D6, so he scatters just a little bit. And he's going to lend some fire to the Raptors as well. And there's Trazian. He's got quite a throwing arm to throw his Tesseract Labyrinth around. And he's thrown another one right over here. And Greyfax and the unit of veterans land in close proximity to the Sorcerer, so she can just smell the filth of Chaos Sorcery in the air. And there she lands pretty much dead on target. And she's got a Psyoculum, so these plasma guns in here are going to be ballistic skill 10. So when it rains it pours, and it's pouring for the Chaos. Cora Hill is going to look for sweet vengeance against the World Eaters that gave him such a hard time in the last time he was out. So he is looking for no respite, no forgiveness, no relent. In he goes in the assault, going to save that Tech Priest Dominus. More Ultramarines arrive from the Tesseract Vault. They land dead on target as well, so they're going to just try and pick up those two Chaos Marines for a point as well. So totally going against Chaos here. What else can we say? And then the final insult, because of the Empiric Storm, we've gained a Bloodthirster. We've chosen the Thirster of Rage. Starts 9 inches away, so he just arrives just right where he wants, 9 inches away. He's going to make a 9-inch charge possibly onto this unit, and the Wolf Guard, strange allies there, they're going to move on through, see if they can they're probably going to run. They're trying to make their way to these vehicles eventually, but this is a real kick in the teeth. Have a Bloodthirster turn to the Imperium. Right, we started shooting, and it's becoming a bit of a massacre. The betrayal on the Chaos from the demons is really setting the tone here. No one is behind Abaddon. The treacherous nature of the Chaos, they're starting to turn in on themselves. And the Bloodletters and Celestine run just a little bit. Nothing gets shot here because Abaddon is in combat, but the Raptors do perish under the weight of fire from the Knight. It's just that assault cannon doing the job, and the Kerry's assault cannon just absolutely pasting them. The Knight fires a thermal cannon all the way over here, kills one of the Forge Fiends, puts a glance on the Land Raider, blows up, kills a load of cultists, and we'll fire the Stubber at the possessed in front and kill one of them. There's just they're dying in droves now. The Whirlwind comes over the top, kills more cultists, a massive chunk gone here. And what else have we done? I think that's it for there, but it's big casualties on the cultists and losing important vehicles now, and that Raptor squad is now gone for good. But here is where it's really going to count. So what we're going to do is we're going to fire with Greyfax first. We're going to fire the Condemner Pattern Bolt Gun. We're going to fire the crossbow element at the Sorcerer. See if we can get a perils result here, or what kind of perils result. So she's going to be hitting on a 2 because she's got the Psyoculum. So she hits, and it's strength 5, and that is going to wound a Terminator. They're going to save on a 2. Right, so Terminator needs to save on a 2. Oh, one dies to just an arrow through the shoulder. But I mean, we didn't even need to kill one there, so we're going to have to take a roll on the perils table because there's a sorcerer in there. So he's going to take the perils of the warp, and the result is a 3, which is suffers 1 wound with no saves of any kind. In addition, he's going to have to lose his psychic power as well. Right, so after that perils of the warp, he loses the firestorm of Tzeentch, I think it is, or Tzeentch's firestorm, and obviously takes out wounds with no armor saves of any kind. So I think that's just the tone of the game. A Terminator, the most armoured infantry unit in the game, gets killed with a glorified crossbow. That is insulting. The Heavy Flamer was next to shoot. Again, kills a Terminator. It's just not looking good here. Then we'll open up with the Plasma Guns. We've got the Psyoculum, giving them Ballistic Skill 10 and Preferred Enemy. So what we've been able to achieve 3 wounds. So the Terminators are going to have to save on their Tzeentchian 4s. But it's boosted to 3s because of this Empiric Storm that's still in effect. So it's a good time to absorb Plasma Guns, if any is a good time. So on 3s. Oh, what's that? So there's 1 dead. 2 dead. It's terrible for the Terminators. Okay, if you didn't think it could go from bad to worse, you were wrong. Another Terminator killed from a bolt pistol. And then we've achieved 3 wounds with the las guns. And they're going to have to save all of these on the Terminator armor because he's already taken a wound thanks to the perils of the warp. So on 2s again. Oh no, he's dead. Okay, so all the Terminators dead. That's 2 points for 2 different units there. They should have never came to Cadia. And so with the Terminators cleared from the area, we've killed the last 2 Crimson Slaughter dedicated Black Legionnaires there with the Terminator Stormbolters, and with that I think we've actually figured out why we're getting these demons. Is because Khorne just loves the bloodshed, so he's pouring his own men in with the demons on the Imperium side because he really appreciates the mass killing, and the blood is just flowing everywhere, knee deep all around in this gulf here. Right, so Belisarius' unit, they fire onto the Rhino, just trying to get a victory point there, but it actually survived. It's on its last hull point, and now it's onto assaults because we've finished firing, and I don't think we could have hoped for a better round there. That was just absolutely savage stuff. So we're going to go into shooting phase. We're just going to run charge this Demon Prince straight in. He doesn't come in from deep strike, so it's the Empiric Storm where it's not a deep strike, so he can charge on the turn he arrives. It's a 9-inch charge, so here he goes. And no, but we're going to keep that 4 because you can actually we're going to have to reroll them both because you can reroll, because he's a jump unit with the wings, you can reroll your charge range. And of course it's a 9 because Khorne favours us, the Emperor favours us, everyone does. So as it was written, so it shall be done. The Bloodthirster goes in, 9-inch charge. There's not a lot these possessed can do about it, but we're going to see just what kind of fight they're going to put up. The Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage takes a wound in that fight. They do fight hard, but not hard enough. He just takes 1 sweep with that giant axe and cuts them all into, what can we say, chaos. Betrayed. Okay, so Gerantius makes a charge in on these 4 possessed, and again it's a more D-weapon action on these possessed. They've never seen such destruction. Gerantius makes short work, absolutely short work of those 4 possessed, kills a few of them with a D weapon, then stomps the rest into absolute oblivion and moves on 6. Right, we've got Corahil going in with his unit for sweet revenge on these World Eaters who give him such a hard time. Right, I've done the combats. As you can probably believe, the demon weapon rebelled in his hand, and he took well, he didn't take the wound, he saved it, but he rolled a 1 for the demon weapon. You just can't believe it. So even the sword is against chaos now, and Corahil comes in and just cuts a load of blood berserkers down, but they do fight back, so they kill 2 Dark Angels and the berserkers are reduced down to 1, and the attack priest Dominus fails to achieve any wounds himself, but we do win that combat, but chaos are fearless. Right, now we've got this combat. We're going to charge the Space Wolves into Abaddon, and he is still locked in his challenge with the Datasmith. But we did call the Canticles. It wasn't improved weapon skill actually. It was improved chances to hit. So we're going to be able to reroll 1s and 2s for units with the Canticles of the Omnissiah. So that's going to be the people in red. Space Wolves continue to be Space Wolves. Right, so the Space Wolves go in. Abaddon is still in that challenge with the Datasmith, and he will use Drakion. So let's see if this rebels in his hand, if he's betrayed by his very own sword. So his demon attacks. How many is he going to get? 2. Close.
That's not a good.
Right, so he's gonna have 7 attacks against the Datasmith. Right, hitting on 3s against the Datasmith, and only 3 hits. But he does have Eternal Hatred, so he's going to get a reroll. It rerolls for Abaddon. Oh my word! Just one more.
He's got
strength 5 attacks against the Datasmith of 4. So you're going to need 3s to cut him down. So there's 3, but he does have preferred enemy armies of the Imperium in this mission. So he's going to get a reroll. And he converts that. So 4 wounds on the Datasmith. Right. He's normally got a refractor field of a 5, but because of the Empiric Storm still in play, it's actually a 4. So he's got 2 wounds, so we'll do these 2 at a time. So he saves 1. Need to feel no pain. And notes he's taking a wound. And he feels that. He's going to have to do a feel no pain. Nope. So he's dead. And then the next wound is going to go on a robot. So they will not have an invulnerable save, but they will have a feel no pain. No. So 1 robot takes a wound and the Datasmith has died. Right, so I misjudged that a little bit. I was hoping the Datasmith would survive and I would change me protocols to having double attacks, but he's dead now, so I can't do that. So we're just going to have to attack with the basic attacks with the robots, but the Space Wolves will fight first. Alright, so the Space Wolves attack, and they've achieved 2 wounds on Abaddon. Now he's going to have to save. So this is being watched by Creed from his Chimera, and he likes what he sees still, just puffing on his cigar, dangling his legs over the Chimera and just watching it all happen. Letting everyone else do the work. He's a master tactician, so he doesn't need to get involved, just watches it. So let's see if Abaddon falls in front of Creed. So 2s to save. Oh, he does save, but we've got the robots to go now. Creed is still excited about this prospect. Right, so the robots, again, 3 attacks each. They're hitting on 5s again because he's such a high weapon skill. But we will roll 1s and 2s, so we only got 1, 2 in there. So reroll. Okay, there's 2 solid hits on Abaddon. 2s to wound. There's 2 wounds. Abaddon is saving on 4s, but the Empiric Storm is going to allow him to save on a invulnerable 3. So right in front of Creed. Oh, he saves. Right, this might come down to Celestine then. She is close by. Destiny calls. Right, so we're going to go into Chaos next turn here, but because it's just such a kicking, all of the Chaos forces are just going to drop off the battlefield and just retreat, except Abaddon. We're just going to fight Abaddon in this combat until he dies or Celestine gets there. So we're going to go for another round of combat. So who is Abaddon fighting?
So he's going for the Space Marines.
Okay, he's going to use Drakion or the Talon of Horus.
He's going to use Drakion.
Okay. Right, so Abaddon's going to see how many demon attacks he's getting from his sword. 3. He's slowly building up to it. 2 the last time, 3 this time. Right, Abaddon hitting on 3s. Oh, he's got rerolls again. Eternal Hatred, it really comes into effect, that one. So, yeah, reroll. And he's got all but 1. So wounding on 3s against the Space Wolves. This is probably going to be a clean out. You know, there's 1 Space Wolf hanging on there. Oh no, you got preferred enemy armies of the Imperium, so reroll that double 1. Right, so that is a full house on the Space Wolves, just got that one. So it's the robot's going to fight Abaddon now. There isn't that Empiric Storm table in effect anymore. Right, the robots are going to attack now. And again, it's 6 attacks, hitting on 5. Okay, we do get real ones because the canticle lasts until the next turn. No, 2 hits, could be enough. 2's to wound. 1 wound on Abaddon he needs to save on a 4 because the Empiric Storm is stopped. Oh, he takes a wound, he's got 1 wound left. So Celestine has jumped over, she's going to finish Abaddon off perhaps. We say perhaps. Creed sees Abaddon bleed and he lets out a cheer. A gruntled cheer. He's lost many men on Cadia. He wants to see Abaddon fall, so she will go in, there's no way we're filling that charge. And the challenge will be issued. Makes it into combat. Now she's initiative 7 and she will strike first. But Abaddon forgot to do a boon roll for killing the Datasmith last turn, so we're going to see what he gets.
The red one is the 10. It's a 24. 24 is Fragment of Immortality. The champion cheats death. The champion has Eternal Warrior special reward.
So he's double Eternal Warrior, but he's still only got 1 wound left, so nothing of benefit there. Okay, so he's going to use his Drakian sword, but you have to declare at the start of the sub-phase, so he's going to have to do a demon weapon roll, see how many attacks he's going to receive. Oh no!
A dipstick.
If anyone's read The White Dwarf where they play this mission, this is exactly what happened to their Abaddon as well. He rolled a 1 and then was punished by Celestine. So he might even just kill himself here, so he's going to need to save on a 4 and kills himself. That is just so anticlimactic. Abaddon just would rather kill himself than be touched by the light of the Emperor.
Suicide.
Right, so Abaddon takes a tantrum after all the Chaos gods and men abandon him to his fate, and he stabs himself just to inflict some more pain. So he goes back to his ship. He truly gets the last laugh. And we all know he drops a Blackstone Fortress on Cadia in a tantrum because of what happens here today. So he can't rely on his squaddies to do the job. Cadia definitely stood today, but Abaddon
can't rely on himself.
Can't rely on himself. Demon swords. There's such a rebellion from the demon swords and the demons today. Abaddon is going to have to have some sort of reckoning when he gets back into the warp.
That foray he had to the demon world, Angron didn't do him any good at all. He really stabbed him in the back, didn't he?
Oh.
You have my demons.
Yes. Those gods are fickle for a reason, and they've proved it today. So Abaddon, of course, as we all know, goes back into his spaceship. He does get wounded in the story, mortally wounded, and goes back to his ship because he doesn't want to repeat the same mistakes as Horus and make it too personal. So he cuts his losses, goes back,
cuts his throat,
goes back to the his ship, World Killer, I think, and he just drops basically meteorite Blackstone Fortress on Cadia, and then everyone dies. Just about anyway.
I don't think he'd be back as a model. I think that's just justification. They've got to bring a new Abaddon model out. I mean, he is just a weed, isn't he? I mean, come on. Well, it's Abaddon's crusade, and they're still hanging about with this, the likes of this. Lost for words. Perhaps when they get a new model, he'll rock the Casbah.